We are now reading about today's Ekadasi, PADMINI EKADASI, for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada and the Vaishnavas, and the liberation of the conditioned souls to revive their original pure Krishna consciousness. Sutra Goswami said, Yudhishthira Maharaj said, O Janardhan, what is the name of the Ekadasi that occurs during the light fortnight of the extra leap year month? How does one observe it properly? Please narrate this to me. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, replied, O Pandava, the meritorious Ekadasi that occurs during the light fortnight of the extra month of leap year is called Padmini. It is very auspicious. The fortunate soul who observes it with great determination and faith will return to my personal abode. This extra month Ekadasi is as powerful as I am in nullifying sins. Even four-headed Lord Brahma cannot glorify it sufficiently. Long ago, Lord Brahma told Narada about this liberating, sin-removing Ekadasi. Lotus-eyed Lord Krishna became very pleased by the inquiry of Yudhishthira and spoke to him the following pleasing words. O King, please listen carefully as I narrate to you the process of fasting on Padmini Ekadasi, which is rarely done even by great sages. One should begin his fast on Dashami, the day before Ekadasi, by not eating any urad dal, pink dal, chickpeas, spinach, honey, or sea salt, and also by not dining in the homes of others or off bell metal plates. These 8 things should be avoided. One should eat only once on Dashami, sleep on the ground, and remain celibate. On Ekadasi, the devotee should rise early in the morning, but should not brush his teeth. Then he should thoroughly bathe in a place of pilgrimage, if possible, while chanting sacred hymns from the Vedas. He should smear his body with cow dung mixed with clay, sesame seed paste, kusha grass, and the powder of amalaki fruits. Then the devotee should take another thorough bath, after which he should chant the following prayers. O sacred clay, you have been created by Lord Brahma, purified by Kashyapa Muni, and lifted by Lord Krishna in his form as Varaha, the boar incarnation. O clay, please purify my head, eyes, and other limbs. O clay, I offer my obeisances unto you. Kindly purify me, so I may worship the Supreme Lord, Hare. O cow dung, you possess medicinal and antiseptic qualities because you have come directly from the stomach of our universal mother, the cow. You can purify the entire planet Earth. Please accept my humble obeisances and purify me. O amalaki fruits, please accept my humble obeisances. You have taken your birth from the saliva of Lord Brahma, and thus by your very presence the entire planet is purified. Kindly cleanse and purify my bodily limbs. O Supreme Lord Vishnu, O God of gods, O Master of the universe, O holder of the conch, disc, club, and lotus, please allow me to bathe in all the holy places of pilgrimage. Reciting these excellent prayers, chanting mantras to Lord Varuna, and meditating in all the places of pilgrimage located on the banks of the Ganges, one should bathe in whatever body of water is at hand. Then, O Judicir, the devotee should rub his body, thus purifying his mouth, back, chest, arms, and waist, as a prelude to worshipping the Supreme Lord, who wears brilliant yellow garments and gives pleasure to all creatures. By so doing, the devotee will destroy all his sins. Afterwards, he should chant the sacred Gayatri mantra, offer oblations to his forefathers, and then enter a Vishnu temple to worship Narayana, the husband of Lakshmi Devi. If possible, the devotee should then fashion murtis of Radha, Krishna, or Shiva, Parvati, out of gold, and offer them nice devotional worship. He should fill a copper or clay pot with pure water mixed with scents, and then he should cover the pot with a cloth lid and a gold or silver lid, in this way preparing an asana upon which the Radha, Krishna, or Shiva Parvati murtis may sit for worship. According to his capacity, the devotee should then worship these murtis with fragrant incense, a bright ghee lamp, and sandalwood paste, along with camphor, musk, kumkum, and other scents, as well as selected aromatic flowers like white lotuses and other seasonal blooms, and also very nicely prepared foods. On this special Ekadasi, the devotee should dance and sing ecstatically before the deity. He should avoid prajalpa at all cost, and should not talk to or touch low-born persons or a woman in her menstrual period. On this day, he should be especially careful to speak the truth and should not criticize anyone before the deity of Lord Vishnu, the Brahmanas, or the spiritual master. Rather, with other devotees, he should listen to Vaishnavas read the glories of Lord Vishnu from the Puranas. One should not drink or even touch water to his lips on this Ekadasi, and one who is unable to perform this austerity should drink only water or milk, otherwise the fast is considered broken. One should remain awake that night, singing and playing musical instruments for the transcendental pleasure of the Supreme Person. During the first quarter of the Ekadasi night, the devotee should offer some coconut meat to his worshipful murti. During the second part, he should offer bale fruit. During the third part, an orange, and as the night draws to a close, some betel nut. Remaining awake during the first part of Ekadasi's night bestows on the devotee the same merit as that gained by performing the remaining awake during the first part of Ekadasi night bestows on the devotee the same merit as that gained by performing the Agni Stoma Jaga. Staying awake during the second part of the night bestows the same merit as that gained by performing a Vajrapeya Jaga. Staying awake during the third part gives one the same merit as that attained by forming an Ashvamedha Jaga, and one who remains awake throughout the night receives all of the above-mentioned merit, as well as the grand merit of having performed a Rajasuya Jaga. Thus, there is no better fasting day in the year than Padmini Ekadasi. Nothing can compare to it as a giver of merit, whether it be a fire sacrifice, knowledge, education, or austerity. Indeed, whoever observes this sacred Ekadasi fast receives all the merit attained by bathing in all the places of pilgrimage in the world. After remaining awake throughout the night, the devotee should bathe at sunrise and then worship me nicely. He should then feed a qualified brahmana and respectfully give him the murti of Lord Keshava and the pot filled with pure scented water. This gift will guarantee the devotee success in this life and liberation in the hereafter. O sinless Yudhisthira, as you have requested, I have described the rules and regulations, as well as the benefits regarding the Ekadasi that occurs during the light fortnight of the extra leap year month. Fasting on this Padmini day bestows merit equal to that gained by fasting on all other Ekadasis. The Ekadasi that occurs during the dark part of the extra month, which is known as Parama Ekadasi, is as powerful as removing sin as this one, Padmini. Now please listen carefully as I narrate to you a fascinating account connected with this sacred day. Pulasya Muni once recited this history to Naradaji. Pulasya Muni once had occasion to rescue Ravana from the prison of Kartavirya Arjuna, and upon hearing of this event, Narada Muni asked his friend, O greatest of sages, since Ravana defeated all the demigods, including Lord Indra, how could Kartavirya Arjuna defeat Ravana, who was so skilled in battle? Pulasya Muni replied, O great Narada, during the Treta Yuga, Kartavirya Arjuna's father, took birth in the Haihaya dynasty. His capital was Mahahismati, and he had 1,000 queens, whom he loved very dearly. None of them, however, was able to give him the son he wanted so badly. He performed sacrifices and worshipped the demigods and forefathers, but due to the curse of some sages, he was unable to beget a son, and without a son, a king cannot enjoy his kingdom, just as a hungry man can never really enjoy his senses. King Kartavirya carefully considered his plight and then decided to perform severe austerities to achieve his goal. Thus he donned a loincloth made of bark, grew matted locks, and turned over the reins of his kingdom to his ministers. One of his queens, Padmini, who was born in the Ikshvaku dynasty, who was the best of all women, and who was the daughter of King Harishchandra, saw the king leaving. She felt that since she was a chaste wife, her duty was to follow in the footsteps of her beloved husband. Removing removing all the regal ornaments from her beautiful body and donning but one piece of cloth, she thus followed her husband into the forest. At last, Kartavirya reached the summit of Mount Gandhamadana, where he performed severe austerities and penances for 10,000 years, meditating and praying to Lord Gadadhar, who wields a club. But still he did not get a son. Seeing her dear husband waste away to mere skin and bone, Padmini thought of a solution to the problem. She went to the chaste Anasuya. With great reverence, Padmini said, O great lady, my dear husband, Kartavirya, has been performing austerities for the last 10,000 years. But Lord Kesava, who alone can remove one's past sins and present difficulties, has not yet become pleased with him. O most fortunate one, please tell me a fast day we can observe, and thus please the Supreme Lord with our devotion, so much so that he will bless me with a nice son, who will later rule the world as emperor. Upon hearing the words of Padmini, who was very chaste and deeply devoted to her husband, the great Anasuya replied to her in a very cheerful mood. O beautiful lotus-eyed lady, usually there are 12 months in a year, but after every 32 months an extra month is added, and the two Ekadasis that occur during this month are called PADMINI EKADASI and PARAMA EKADASI. They fall on the DEVOTEES of the light and dark part of the month, respectively. You should fast on these days and remain awake throughout the night. If you do so, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, HARE, will bless you with the sun. O Narada, in this way, Anasuya, the daughter of the sage Kardama, explained the potency of these special Ekadasis. Hearing this, Padmini faithfully followed the instructions to fulfill her desire for her son. Padmini fasted completely, even from water, and remained awake all night, chanting the glories of God and dancing in ecstasy. Lord Kesava thus became most pleased with her devotion and appeared before her, riding on the back of the great Garuda. The Lord said, O beautiful one, you have greatly pleased me by fasting on the special Ekadasi of the extra month. Please ask me for a benediction. Hearing these sublime words from the overseer of the entire universe, Padmini offered the Supreme Lord devotional prayers and asked him for the boon her husband desired. Lord Shri Krishna was moved to reply, O gentle lady, I am very happy with you, for there is no month dearer to me than this, and the Ekadasis that occur during this month are the most dear to me of all Ekadasis. You have followed Anasuya's instructions perfectly, and therefore I shall do what will please you. You and your husband will have the son you desire. The Lord who removes the distress of the world then spoke to King Kartavirya. O King, please ask of me any boon that will fulfill your heart's desire, for your dear wife has pleased me greatly. The king was very happy to hear this. Naturally, he asked for the son he had desired for so long. O Master of the universe, O killer of the Madhu demon, kindly grant me a son who will never be conquered by demigods, human beings, snakes, demons, or hobgoblins, but whom only you can defeat. The Supreme Lord immediately replied, So be it, and disappeared. The king became very pleased with his wife and returned to his palace in her company. Padmini soon Padmini soon became pregnant, and the mighty armed Kartavirya Arjuna appeared as her son. He was the mightiest person in all the three worlds, and thus even 10-headed Ravana could not defeat him in battle. Except for Lord Narayan, who holds a club, a disc, and other symbols in his hands, no one could overcome him. By the merit that resulted from his mother's strict and faithful observance of PADMINI EKADASI, he could defeat even the dreaded Ravana. This is not at all surprising, O Naradaji, for Kartavirya Arjuna was the fulfillment of the benediction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. With these words, Pulasya Muni departed. The Supreme Lord Shri Krishna concluded, O sinless Yudhisthira, as you have inquired from me, I have explained to you the power of this special Ekadasi. O best of kings, whoever observes this fast will surely attain to my personal abode. And similarly, if you want all your desires fulfilled, you should do likewise. Hearing these words from his beloved Kesava, Dharmaraj, Yudhishthira became filled with joy, and when the time came, he faithfully observed PADMINI EKADASI. Sutta Goswami concluded, O sage Shanaka, I have explained to you all about this meritorious Ekadasi. Anyone who devotedly fasts on the Ekadasis that occur during the extra leap year months, carefully following all the rules, becomes glorious and happily goes back to Godhead. And one who merely hears or reads about these Ekadasis will also obtain great merit and ultimately enter the abode of Lord Hari. Thus ends the narration of the glories of Padmini Ekadasi, the Ekadasi that occurs during the light fortnight of the extra leap year month from the Skanda Purana. Notes. 1. According to the scriptures, on fast days one should avoid sea salt because Agastya Muni once drank the ocean and passed it out as urine. Ordinary rock salt is allowed. 2. Anasuya is the wife of the great sage Atri and the mother of Dattatreya, the three-headed form of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva combined. 3. Whenever there is an extra month, this month's fortnights are divided and added to normal months. Our glories to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who made all of this possible. Vanchakalpatarubhascha kripa sindhu bevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.